Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode of Chinese faction preview. We are back on Glaives after previewing SUNTZU on cavalry, and we are on Dong Zhuo, one of the most powerful commanders, at least from my observations so far. I really like his abilities. And, well, apart from race, but I think I've said enough about that ability in the Dong Zhuo preview, which you are encouraged to check out. Link in the top right corner. Remind me in the comments if I forgot about it. Oh, that raise ability has such a low range. And again, you can just use it while in melee already. It's a very short duration, so even if you charge into your own fire, you don't really care because it's going to be extinguished in mere seconds. Yeah, and what really makes Dong Zhuo like so powerful is that ultimate ability. So we talked about how glaives are quite similar to Foxmen, right? So with Dong Zhuo's ability, a Reign of Terror, which decreases enemy morale by 20 and obviously probably more after upgrades, your ability to rout enemy units is going to be quite nice. It's also a disengage tool because it knocks back enemies, so I want to disengage, I just use it and it knocks back the enemies. Did it work though? I didn't really see the damage numbers popping up. But in theory it should work, right? You use that, you knock back the enemies, and then you apply flanks to rout them. Oh yeah. See that in action. Bam. And rout it that way. So you want to keep applying flanks, keep using your Reign of Terror as both an ability to rout enemy units with that minus 20 morale, and disengage tool and damage tool and just melee fighting tool, because yeah, it does a lot of things. It knocks them back, allowing you to disengage, it lowers the morale, allowing you to rout them, and also lowers their melee weapon damage and melee weapon penetration damage, just making them weaker in the fight. And then you have another ability similar to, let's say, maybe Guan Yu playstyle. It will be much more about Guan Yu. But it is, like, Dong Zhuo offers a playstyle somewhere between Guan Yu and Lu Bu, because it's very much about damage and flanking, just like Lu Bu. But your ability, I just nuked them with this. It was only double use. I don't know if double use does double the damage. I think it does. So you can actually stack it. So not only, if you use triple of it, not only will you deal 20 morale damage, you also deal nuke damage, and that's heavy Roman infantry, well, medium ones, Palatini. Well, anyway, and then you have this Blade Breaker, which makes you so tanky. That's 30%, or just about 30% damage barrier. It's only for 10 seconds, right? So that essentially makes you invulnerable for the duration, because there's no way the enemies are going to punch through 30% damage barrier within 10 seconds, unless they are using some quite powerful abilities themselves. So just that Reign of Terror ability is so powerful, and you can always use Raise for a little bit of more additional damage. Like, so small and precise that you'll barely end up hurting your enemies, your allies, but enemies as well. Gotta go ahead in my sentence. So yeah, At the moment I don't really see the purpose of this ability. I'm minus 11% melee attack, but for 3 seconds, like, how much is that going to contribute? So I'm really looking forward as to what kind of buffs, or rather upgrades, this ability is going to get. Because maybe that will make it better. After all, it is a level 1 ability, right? So it is supposed to be the weakest, I guess. Okay, I have Reign of Terror now available on all 3 units. Let's see how that works. Just like in a straight up blob fight. That is going to be interesting. But yeah, Blade Breaker makes you much tankier. So you're very tanky, very useful for glaives, right, that suffer from a lack of a shield. So really good. And you can use it just for YOLO if you want to pull through an enemy, that will work as well. And now... Wait, Nuke is 25% health. I don't think that unit had 25% health to begin with, but we still nuked it. So it not only suffers the minus 20% morale, not 20%, just minus 20 morale, it also suffers nuke damage. Then again, if you use all 3, right, then you use the ability to use it again. So, I mean, it just gives you more flexibility, really, because if you want to use it one by one to prolong the debuff or have more opportunities to disengage, you can do it. But if you cannot flank and the only way to rout an enemy unit is to nuke it, well, then you have that option as well. Goddamn, Dong Zhuo. Really powerful. Get in here, damage barrier. Let's throw him some meme damage. To be honest, I don't even know if it's worth it. Because while they're throwing their torches, they're not hitting the enemy. And they'll deal way more damage if they just keep hitting the enemy. So, if the raise ability doesn't instantly remove stakes or something in that manner, then that ability absolutely sucks. But even when one of his abilities absolutely sucks, the other two, so damn powerful. Blade Breaker and Reign of Terror. Reign of Terror just straight up allows you to nuke enemies frontally. And it's not a strike, so you don't care about being interrupted.
You are nothing.
Yeah, that wasn't a nuke, but that was still a lot of damage. Wow. So I guess triple use doesn't really... I mean, it just overlaps, right? Because with strikes... strikes... Well, it depends like kind of the model interactions, like on model versus model basis. Here it just doesn't care about models. So I guess if it doesn't care about it at all, then it can just straight up deal triple damage. It's basically AoE damage, right? So if each soldier hit suffers X damage, it doesn't matter if he's already knocked back or whatever his status is as well, he'll receive that damage.
Is that your best? Pathetic.
Bum.
Attack.
Get memed on.
Destroy. Into the fight.
So yeah, Dong Zhuo. Really powerful combination with Glaives as well. So as I said, somewhere between Lu Bu and Guan Yu. You still want to find those flanks, utilize the Reign of Terror's ability to rout units. Great disengage tool at the same time. Blade Breaker makes you very tanky, so that's a great utility tool for you, or just, you know, melee buff in general.
No more has dribble done.
So, compared to Guan Yu, because Guan Yu is not about mobility and fighting, how does his fighting ability compare? To be honest, with how tanky the Blade Breaker makes him and how good of a Reign of Terror ability is, he's up there. Like, he would be almost as strong as Guan Yu. Not as strong because Guan Yu has a powerful AoE buff. It buffs melee weapon damage, melee penetration damage, attack, and morale, if I remember correctly. There's 4 different buffs. Well, since I don't remember, maybe you also don't remember, check out the Guan Yu video to see. And compared to Lu Bu, obviously less mobility, but has that minus 20 morale, which Lu Bu doesn't. Well, Guan Yu also has minus 10 AoE, which he also can cycle just like Dong Zhuo can. So he's similar to both Lu Bu and Guan Yu in many ways, but somehow combines the 2 playstyles. The only thing really lacking on him is the charge, but if that raised ability is able to destroy stakes, that gives you so much more additional utility. That would be great. So yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments below what you think about Dong Zhuo. Because honestly, he seems quite powerful and a very interesting mix. And I'm still thinking, like, who would be the best on Glaives? I mean, obviously it comes down to playstyle, because I don't think any single commander out of these 3, Lu Bu, Guan Yu, and Dong Zhuo, is much more overpowered than the other. They're all very strong. So maybe all 3 of them are overpowered. Well, that's a discussion to be had in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I'd really like to hear them, reply to them, continue the conversation in there. But for now, we're going to wrap up this video, so remember to subscribe to the channel, help us bring Arena back to the West, stay notified about any incoming news, Total War Arena news, and Chinese faction preview videos, any other videos as well. I have a lot of interesting things up my sleeve coming your way, but for now we're focusing on the Chinese faction, since that's the hot topic. And well, until then, I'll see you on Arena's battlefields, commanders.